4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to Racing World, brought to you by Perspective Group. It's your motorsport podcast show in conjunction with Race Control Magazine.
Close to Long Beach for the final round of the NTT IndyCar Series for 2021, and boy, what a season it's been. This young Spanish driver, Alex Palau, certainly turning heads in his first season with Chip Ganassi Racing. And of course this one, Pato O'Ward, who's been turning heads for a little while now. Alexander Rossi was very quick early on, and he was the previous race winner from when the series raced there just a couple of years ago. Of course, not there last year because of COVID. Colton Herta also was very quick, but he had a couple of close moments with the wall. That certainly got his attention. And another one that got his attention was Joseph Newgarden, chasing for this championship. Not a lot of grip there for Newgarden on the first practice session, but this is how street courses rubber in, and they evolve over the weekend, as we all well know. The big thing, of course, for this weekend was there's a lot of turning points of drivers, maybe not with deals for next year, but more importantly, the chase for this championship, and it's the young guns versus the old guard. But speaking of old guard, Romain Grosjean announcing that he was going to Andretti's, and he's taking his engineer from Dale Coyne Racing with him, so that will be an interesting combination. Frustration for Pato O'Ward, just not quite matching it with Palau, but the weekend's got a long way to go. Lots of drivers still looking for drives next year, and then some that have now made it official, and one of those, of course, was Ryan Hunter-Reay. We've always thought that this was going to happen, but finally it became official. But the one thing that came out quite clearly in the press conference held after practice was this statement from Hunter-Reay saying that the deal had actually been decided over a year ago.
Well, it's been coming for a while. You know, Michael and I agreed that this is our last season together back in November of 2020. So going into this year, we knew this was our last year together. And it's you know, I've been with this team for 12 years. I've been with the same engineer longer than I've been married, and I've got 3 kids. So go figure that one out. Definitely been here a long time, and you know, in sports and in business and anything like that, everything evolves. It always does, and change is inevitable, and it's a good thing usually. So I think it's definitely a good time to you know, shake things up, and I wish Andretti Autosport, Ramon, and DHL all the best, and I think DHL's on the car for 11 races next year, 6 being with a different sponsor. So yeah, I wish them all the best, and I'm looking forward to that next chapter, you know, and the challenges that lie ahead.
The other talking point that came out of the press conference, first of all on Friday and then again on Saturday after qualifying, was the length in which these race weekends are running. And all the drivers seem very adamant that they want to return to the old schedule. And this is what a couple of them had to say.
More driving.
Yeah, we like to drive still.
Well, here's an example for you. Like at Portland, we had an engine issue, right? And we didn't get to first practice. We went straight into qualifying, missed qualifying, and there goes the whole weekend. And then, you know, we're at the back in Laguna Seca based on your pit stall is assigned from qualifying. So it's important to get, you know, we go through all this time and effort, right? We travel as much as we do. You know, give us an hour and a half on the track or more.
Onwards to Saturday and qualifying. In the early morning practice, Dixon was one that had trouble with the wall, caused substantial damage to the car, even a small fire. So the team worked like crazy to get that car back and ready for qualifying. The narrow pit lane on Long Beach, again another factor, and the fact that it's on a curve as well. So depending where you pit, it sort of alters the angle of view that you had. But Alex Palau was straight back on it and easily made it through to the fast 12, but that was about as far as he was going to go, and in the end ultimately ended up qualifying 10th. Pato O'Ward, another one that sort of thought he was going to be there, then wasn't there, and again for him, he ultimately ended up 8th, but he had this little bit of a run-in with the wall, said it was a graze, but it was later to show that it was probably a little bit more damage than that. As you can see, it's only a light hit, but it left the telltale marks of you have white-walled that tyre. There was many more twists in qualifying, this moment from Jack Harvey, which ultimately resulted in this moment from Will Power. Now the Horizon boys just worked miracles to get that car back out on track, and Will was to continue on as far as the fast 12. Great job by the Penske boys, but for Colton Herta, they chose to run on the black tyre longer than they really should have, and he'll start 14th. Will Power then back out on track, but then slowed and brought out a yellow, and controversy about cars passing too quickly or driving too quickly under yellow flag conditions. The man of the moment with all the championship pressure became Joseph Newgarden, and he did exactly what he needed to do, just like he'd done at Homestead only a year ago in the final race where he was head-to-head with Dixon. But this time, Newgarden put the car on pole. That's part one of a puzzle for the weekend for Joseph Newgarden.
It's really what's done our fate in, I think, for this weekend is just not qualifying well. So it's nice to have that back. We've had a fast car this weekend. I actually we started a little bit slower. It's been kind of the opposite the last 2 weekends where we started really quick and then, for whatever reason, we just fade and don't get it right on the day when it counts. So really proud of the team. I felt like our car was good from the start, just needed the track grip to come up, and the more grip we had, I felt the better our car was. So pretty happy for our whole team, especially Gavin, all the boys on the car, Hitachi, Team Chevy, everyone's done a great job. So we got one goal accomplished for the weekend. Hopefully we can, finish things off tomorrow and have a clean day.
Onwards in the press conference. And Alex, has this changed your philosophy about starting where you are tomorrow in terms of what happens with the championship?
No, I don't. Well, the good thing is that I'm going to see them both, so we're not really far off. So, no, I think we need to focus on doing a good race. We have a good car and we have potential to try and fight for the win tomorrow. Like our car was really good and we were going to make it into the Fast Six like many others, obviously. But we have a good car, so I think we're in a good position tomorrow to fight. And we'll go for it. Maybe after last pit stop when I know everything is, bless you, when I know that everything is smoother. Maybe I'll want to know, but as long as we're having a good race, I'm not going to have to worry about what others do. And even if I know what others are doing, it's not like I'm going to go faster or slower. So, I think I'll wait until the checkered flag to ask.
Well, Scott, front row start, that means that the car was in good nick, courtesy of the Wolfpack for you when you went out for qualifying.
Car in qualifying was really good, a bit bummed. Elio totally screwed us on that last lap there. I think we definitely had enough speed to be right there for the pole, but obviously we didn't improve enough just because we caught him throughout that lap. But kudos to the team for getting the car fixed. It actually done a fair bit of damage because all the brakes caught on fire and burnt a lot of the wiring and the shrouds and all that kind of stuff. So, big thank you to them. And great starting position in P2. Definitely fight for the win. Obviously, not fighting for the championship, which feels a little strange, but obviously we'll be doing anything we can to try and help that trophy stay at home.
And again, Scott, all the pressure is really on Alex, but you sing his praises a lot.
I spoke about it a lot yesterday, just his, adaptability, but also the low moments, and his recoveries, I think, and that's, a huge testament, I think, obviously to the team as well, but, the crash like at Indy to, how he bounced back out of that to qualify into the race to, some of the penalties he's had through the season. He races like a veteran, he's a young guy and he's very adaptive, especially with, I've struggled a bit with the tyre and at some of the circuits. One specific tyre is, has been really tough for me, but, he and actually Marcus in some situations have done a very, very good job. So, I don't know, that and he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet. I keep saying that. He's always smiling, even when he has a bad day, So he's a good person and he's done a tremendous job this year.
Well, that wraps up qualifying at Long Beach for the final round of the NTT IndyCar Series and confirming that it's Newgarden and Dixon that'll take out the front row. Castro Neves and Pagenaud could be teammates together in 2022 are next up. Rosenquist, Grosjean, who had brilliances in qualifying again as well. Hinchcliffe, maybe his last event for the Andretti squad. We just don't know yet. Pato Award, championship contender in 8th. Ed Jones, Alex Palau, championship contender in 10th. Then Hunter Ray, well, where will he end up in 22? We really don't know. Will Power, the man of many moments in qualifying. Kiwi Scott McLaughlin, he's in 13th, racing Roman Grosjean for that Rookie of the Year title. That will go to the wire as well. Then Herta, Rossi, Sato, Ericsson, Callum Ilott now in with Junkos Racing for the next year as well. So great performance from him in 18th. Rahal, Kimball making a one-off for AJ Foyt, Daly Bourdais, Chilton, VK Harvey, Callett, Johnson and Askew. It's going to be a great race. 28 cars take the flag for the final NTT IndyCar Series race tomorrow.